Good evening, respected councillors and everybody else. My name is Bashar Hussain. I'm one of the representatives of OPHDA, Oldham Private Hire Driver Association. I'm just going to quickly go through, it will take about 15 minutes of your time, just a brief introduction of how the association was formed and what we do, what we do for the drivers. And firstly, the safety points first. There's two main entrances, one to the front and one to the rear. In the case of fire, the assembly point is at the front car park. We've got a fire marshal on site here, Mr. Tariq Hussain. Our first aider, Mr. Shazad, there he is, toilets are through here to our left, and there's two upstairs as well, on the right hand side. And I'll give a brief overview of what we do. Well, just to start off, the OPHDA was originally started by a few local drivers back in 2015. Drivers would meet up informally and discuss issues what affected the trade. It was a completely voluntary organisation. Everyone took their own time out to sort of sit together and speak about the issues. Because a lot of the other towns we found, they had the little associations, and we were almost sadly lacking in having an official formed association, or if there was any associations, they'd formed and they only ran a short while and then they crumbled. So we felt the need that an official organisation need to come in about existence. So in March 2019, when we finally got our act together, we officially became known and registered the Oldham Private Hire Driver Association. It took 4 years of hard work to sort of get enough of the volunteers, enough of the work, enough of the staff to set this up. We started having regular meetings with the councillors, and our main aim was just simply to assist the drivers of Oldham. We had a quarterly meeting with the licensing team. We had meetings with councillors so that we could, get our viewpoints across with the ongoing issues or concerns. Once we registered it in 2019, we were overwhelmed with drivers congratulating us on forming an association, and it was really needed. We've got quite a large number of members now on our group, and we've got an official website, labeled www.ophda.org. I'm just going to introduce you to the team. We've got our founder and chairman, Mr. Paul. There he is. He was the original sort of brainwave behind it all. I remember him knocking on my house and saying, we need to sit down and form an association, and that's when it started. So that's our chair. Shazad Kadim, he's a bit of a genius of the group. He's a good problem solver. He's a vice secretary. Moving on to Mukhtar Ahmed, our treasury. He is at the back there. He does he runs the courses, cookery courses in this centre. Moving on, we've got Tariq Hussain, a vice chair.
Next week.
We've got a vice chair. He basically runs the taxi wash scheme, and drivers are being reported, as you're all aware. We're getting stone thrown damages, and we now work in conjunction with the police, and we formed a taxi watch where drivers report it to the police and they report it to us, and we chase up any ongoing inquiries, because a lot of the drivers were complaining to us that we weren't getting satisfactory prompts from the police. Myself, Bashar Hussain, any complaints, anything too difficult to do, so they give it me. Malik Nusser, our rep, he's in charge of the admin side of the OPHDA, keeping on top of all the members, updating the members. Mr. Javed Iqbal is our rep. He's a social media sort of activist. He sort of voices all our regulations and stuff, any updates on social media, on the platform, so we can reach drivers. Because a lot of the time being 1,300 drivers, we're not reaching out to everybody. And sometimes they come back to us saying we've not got the message. So we're very active on social media, Facebook, and all the rest of it. Imran Masood, a very good cook, he's also part of the admin team. Mr. Ahmed Ali, he's part of the administration as well. Mr. Zafar Hussain, he's our technical support, our lovely assistant today. Moving on, just a screenshot of our website, www.ophda.org. We found that the Oldham Council have got a website, but it's a bit of a dinosaur. It's very hard to find
Yeah.
certain forms. I mean, you've
Yeah.
probably found out from your own experiences
Yeah.
when you use it.
Yeah.
It obviously has got to cover a large amount of stuff. So we found the drivers have keep phoning us for little petty forms and or how do we get this form? How do we report the crime? How do we report it to the police? How do we report an ASB reporting form? So we designed a website where the drivers could access it. On the front page, they can join us and then they can inquire about how to report a crime. We'll guide them through step by step, make a renewal vehicle application. They click that, it takes them directly to the Oldham website where they can then sign up and they'll get all the guidance that they need. Anything about transfer of vehicle applications, obviously all the rest of it, I won't go through it all, but DBS service login, we're getting a few drivers have been suspended because they failed to sort of update their DBS updates online. So we've now made it easier and we're going through and helping drivers so that this doesn't happen. And anything else, any tax checks and that, we have updated our website so that they can easily get that information. So our agenda today is our objectives. Basically, what's our objective for Oldham Private Hire Drivers Association? It's empowering our community. We just want to become a unified force, and we're trying to empower and advocate for our drivers, basically speak up for them. At times we find they're getting called for interviews in the last minute and they're very worried. They come to us and say, look, we've been called in for interviews, we don't know what there might be language barriers, there might be, any other issues that we're here as a helping hand, as a friend to go in with them for interviews and be with them and help them. Because that was one of the biggest complaints, is that no one was there for us when they got called in. Whether it was a malicious customer complaint or whether it was anything else, we will step in for them and we will advocate for them. We'll show that they get a good representation for themselves. We'll assist and explain the interview process. So if licensing operators are bringing in any of the drivers for speaking about any complaints, and we'll explain how it works, explain what sort of actions that can be taken, and how the process will work from then on. We obviously collaborate with the licensing team on regards about that. We believe in it's a big power working together in collaboration. By working together, we can achieve a lot more. And I think Oldham Private Hire Association is a good example on how we work together with the councillors, with the licensing team, with the drivers to achieve better standards and a better standard of service for the trade. One of the examples I'm going to put to that working together is when we had a state where we had a lot of failures with the vehicle MOTs. We then requested to Oldham Council to issue us every 3 months updates on where the vehicle taxi were failing from and which departments they were failing on, so we could address that with our drivers. Now we have a regular every 3 to 6 months. They give us an update on the figures where the cars are failing. We then take it back to the drivers and we say, hang on a second, are you addressing these issues A, B, C, and D? Because we're failing, and that's making the whole trade look bad. So if we can address some issues and work together, it's a great example of how we can solve. Now the rates are positively going up. It's only because of our intervention and working together that this has happened. We started working with the Taxi Watch. That was another example with the police. Mr. Tariq, it's a big reduction in storm throwing vehicles was a major cause of grievance to drivers. Drivers were getting angry when they paid £20 plus £25,000 for a car, and then they've been bricked on or egged on. It was not nice, and they shouldn't have to cope with something like that. And frequently they were phoning the police on a Friday, Saturday night, and the police obviously were being busy as it is. It was considered low-level crime, and there was no real help out for them. And they tend to get ignored. Now what we've done, we're putting a proper process in place where they will report it to the police and we'll chase up any outstanding inquiries with the police and get some sort of satisfactory response from them. Obviously, sometimes we can, sometimes we can't, but at least we will try for them. Also, we work together with the operators to put out reminders for drivers on their PDAs. It's amazing how little reminders on the PDA come in. Oh, can you please make sure you've done your weekly checks? Can you please make sure you've done A, B, C, D? It helps because we all can be forgetful at times, and working together is very important. So that's for that. Our vision for the future. Our vision is to see a thriving private hire sector in Oldham, where drivers feel valued, supported and empowered. And together we can make this environment that fosters professional growth, continuity, engagement and a sense of pride in our work. Basically just improve standards across the board. We've got a large scale amount of drivers coming in and we need to maintain an acceptable standard because, we've had enough complaints of drivers, where the standards have somewhat been lacking. We want to make a positive image. We want to put Oldham on the map and say, look, Oldham drivers have got a basic acceptable level of standards that we want to achieve and maintain. We've also continued to educate drivers about making them learn new skills to reach our goals. That could be simple as everything's online. Some drivers struggle with accessing stuff online. We're there for them. We'll help them do that. We've also identified a big need of female drivers. And, we've had people, licensing team mention to us why we're not doing anything more positive to encourage female drivers into this trade. And we have been heavily promoting it, to get females to meet this need. And we're going to be providing feedback in due course regards this. Basically, your participation matters. I know most of you are already working with us, and you're all familiar faces, but if there's anything else, please let us know. We welcome any feedback from yourselves at any time. Basically, this is a timeline of the Oldham Private Hire Drivers Association. If a driver's got an issue or anything he needs help with, he'll ring us. He's got our contact number. We've got WhatsApp official members. Otherwise, it's open to everybody. An email and an office now that we've just opened today. The reason why you guys are here. They can come in. They can approach us. They can, we're all contactable. That's how our sort of steps work. Our timeline. How are we going to do all this? Raise the standard. I think it's first comes back down to education and support. During COVID, there was no face-to-face contact. The drivers faced a lot of difficulties in earning any sort of reasonable income. We started to receive some very interesting requests from drivers about policy changes and relaxation of rules that they would like. Before this, we wanted a realistic approach from the drivers to take forward to licensing. The attitude from majority of drivers changed as to how they could almost bypass anything to make a living. Things got really, really difficult. Obviously, I'm sure you guys are aware. The way of thinking did change much coming out of COVID. We had lengthy dialogue with the new and old experienced drivers. What we very quickly realised was that the old drivers had convinced the new drivers of what could easily be achieved. It was clear from the outset that the drivers had to be educated in some way, and at the same time we get back down to the reality and realistic views. We designed some courses. We listened to them. We designed some courses so that would help them, and we started to invite drivers. At first, we didn't get that much of a positive interest, but as more and more we progressed, drivers did take up the courses, and were very impressed, and they spread the word for us. We had some really positive feedback from the drivers after we started doing some of them on the courses. And they refreshed us memories regarding the bylaws and general rules. We're currently running some of these courses you can see on the screen. Passenger, public and driver safety. It's always paramount. Passenger safety. Mr. Garfield, he's not here today, but he always drills it into us, passenger safety, passenger safety, passenger safety. So we designed a course for the drivers to come in here, sit down, and we will go through passenger and public and driver safety. And at the end we'll have question and answers to see what sort of stuff they've taken in. Road awareness and safer driving. We as an association, we get licensing obviously telling us, look, we've had complaints from drivers not driving properly or not driving without due care or whatever. We obviously have designed a course for road awareness and safety driving, just remind drivers on the basic things about what they should be doing. The bylaws and policy refresher. Usually when you join up Oldham as a taxi driver, you get like a big sheet, and you have to There's about 30 pages, but I don't think many will end up reading that. But we try to simplify things and made the main points out for them, and we go through it on a regular point and say, look, this is what these are the main points that you need to be always aware of. Car maintenance and daily checks. As trivial as it sounds, drivers can forget. We're all human. We forget to check our car. We forget to check this. We forget to check that. And I think some people don't know how to even check the tyre depths. So we've made a little course where we come in, we show them how to do things. We just remind them because don't insult anyone's intelligence, but just reminding people of the basics and how to do it, and that's how we're going to move things up. Appointment diary and up-to-date records is ever increasingly with DBS updates, keeping up on your website. Everything is online, and it's important drivers keep checking their emails. So we help them. We help them set up emails, help them to check reminders. So we go through a basic computer course and help them. Look, this is because at the end of the day, they're primarily responsible for their upkeep of their vehicle and up-to-date records. We've got cooking classes here happening every week by Mr. Mukhtar Ahmed. He does, some very nice cooking classes every week, and we've had a positive input and participation in that. Mental health workshop, we're working in conjunction with Coppice Community Hub. Mr. Zafar, they have, is it every couple of weeks? We have
every second month.
Every second month we have a mental health workshop. But sometimes drivers, obviously with the way things are, we're just coming out of COVID, I think people's mental health has been affected, whether we like it or not. And sometimes people don't want to talk about it, but it's nice to have a place where you can go down and speak to people about your worries, and whether it's money worries, or whether it's job worries, or financial, etc., etc. But it's, I think it's an important thing, and everyone's recognising it. And we're grateful for the Coppice Community Hub to work with us on this mental health workshop. We have an informal chai group where we sit down together with the drivers and discuss day-to-day issues, see anything we can resolve with them, help them, or make things better for them.
I'd love to join that.
You want to join that?
Yeah. Get the tea as well.
We
get all the gossip.
You get the gossip. You get community feel of what's happening.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sports, Mr. Shazad is sorting some of the courses out for indoor and outdoor courses, just to keep drivers fit. And obviously you've got to think about their health. It's not just about going to work and working 8-9 hours. They've got to have a work outside. They've got to have life outside work. Food hygiene, it goes in conjunction with our cooking classes. We just a basic course. We found there was interest, so we're setting up food hygiene courses. First aid, a lot of the time, I think this is a very big demand. It's always nice to have someone who's got first aid skills as a team. You never know. Anything can, it always comes handy, someone with some knowledge of first aid. So we've got them courses running. And health and safety. These are the courses. Thank you for your attendance. And we welcome any feedback from yourselves. And now we're just going to do a quick little quiz to see what sort of information and what sort of levels you guys are, your knowledge. So all I request you guys to do is just get your phones out and log into, what is it?
No, if you
Log into
search
Google.
Kahoot.
Yeah, the end
We
of
lost.
the Rouge Fest.
Yeah.
Hey!
Top 3.
Janelle.
Happy with that.
Boo. Oh, this one's boo. Oh, not fair.
I can't
Can't
go.
take time
Oh
out.
my God, I'm last.
No,
Look
yeah.
like, won't tell you who's come last.
I'm not happy with you. You did something.
Next time, bring me glass.